It's the last business day of the week. Welcome to Business Incorporated, coming to you live from Lagos, Nigeria. Thank you for joining us. I'm Chimeze Obi Iwago. On the program today, South African banks rein in loans as President Jacob Zuma's administration struggles to reignite economic growth. African Export-Import Bank offers $300 million to private investors in equity. Plus, Saudi Arabia to trim crude oil allocations to its customers worldwide by 350,000 barrels per day. Let's get started, and we're beginning with a trading pattern across the global markets today. Here in Africa, the South African market, the JSE index, has continued to slide despite positive GDP numbers posted on Tuesday. The index dipped 0.14% at intraday. And here in Nigeria, Thursday's positive trend dovetailed into today's trading, with the oil share index up 0.17% at intraday. Egypt is closed but traded in the green on Thursday in a broad-based rise, with 9 out of the 10 most heavily traded stocks gaining in the heaviest trading volume for almost a month. The market in Kenya was also positive on Thursday, closing 1.07%. And markets in the Middle East are closed today for the weekend. However, Saudi Arabia's stock market rose on Thursday amid rumors that Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman might soon take the throne, while Abu Dhabi's listed Dana Gas resumed rising sharply in the wake of its deal to obtain payments from Iraqi Kurdistan. In June, when Mohammed bin Salman was promoted to Crown Prince from Deputy Crown Prince, the Saudi stock index shot up 7% in 2 days. It gave up much of those gains in subsequent weeks, but on Thursday, investors took the rumors about a royal accession positively and boosted the index by 0.75%, making Saudi Arabia by far the best performing Gulf Arab bourse. Most other Gulf markets were almost flat. In Dubai, the index edged up 0.06%, although the most heavily traded stock, JFH Financial, climbed 4.9%. It has been trading near its low for the year. Abu Dhabi's index edged down 0.08%, but Dana surged 6.5% to a 3-year closing high of 0.82 dirham. It was again Abu Dhabi's most heavily traded stock and accounted for 2/3 of trading volume. Qatar index dropped 0.10%. And in Europe, markets were slightly lower on Friday morning trade as investors tracked a massive storm nearing the U.S., while the dollar skidded against the euro after comments from European Central Bank President Mario Draghi. Out tracking the European markets for us is Janelle Dumalon, my colleague in Frankfurt. Good afternoon, Janelle. It's a beautiful Friday, and of course, the weather here is quite clement. Now, the US dollar is losing more grounds against the euro, in particular on the ECB tapering signal. Are European stocks really riding this euro rally? Well, Janelle, I was asking, we've seen the dollar losing more grounds against the euro today. That's in particular looking at the ECB tapering signal. Now, I was asking, are European stocks riding this euro rally?
Well, thank you. It's good to be back. I'm sorry for that brief interruption. But yes, exactly. We're not actually looking at investors really ride the euro rally, so to say. In fact, Stock 600, that is, of course, this pan-European index of indices, so to say, is trading a bit lower this morning. If you look at the individual bourses themselves, are kind of mixed. I don't know if you can see the DAX behind me. You could see that there's no real direction for equities today. But if we talk about Mario Draghi's tapering policies, I just think it's very interesting. He has managed to prepare the markets for tapering after autumn without sounding hawkish and also without using the word tapering, so to say. I think the new word to watch out for now is calibration. We will be seeing calibrating of the policy after autumn. So very interesting. And during the press conference yesterday, his comments also made it easy for investors to interpret the fact that the ECB was not at all that worried about the currency's strength, even though, of course, there are things that speak against a strong currency, like making exports less competitive abroad and also reducing the chance that inflation targets will be reached quickly. But in any case, investors chose to interpret the ECB's comments as only a lukewarm worry over the currency, and that has made them rush towards the euro and has made the euro surge to a two and a half year high. But again, as usual with the strength of the euro, it is also a story of the dollar's weaknesses. And the dollar just has been seeing a drag on its value just because of Hurricane Irma as well, and of weaker than expected jobs data yesterday coming out of the U.S.
Now, on the corporate news side is a merger between Volkswagen and Fiat Chrysler. Is that a speculation?
Well, it depends on who you ask. The CEO of Volkswagen, Matthias Müller, says that it is. And if I may read to you what he said, we're a big company and don't have any interest in getting any more bloated. There's been a lot of speculation about FCA, so Fiat Chrysler, which we've noted, but it's just speculation and nothing more. So, you know, he's right about one thing. The Volkswagen is a very big company. It does, of course, include 12 brands. But he was saying that Volkswagen was also in talks with 5 or 6 other companies, and they're all interesting in terms of improving Volkswagen's business. So whether we will see any development in this story, we don't know yet. We know that Volkswagen is being very coy. That's all we can get out of it at the moment. But we also know that there had been some reporting earlier that they were in talks actually in order to do some joint production of some light utility vehicles, like cooperating on the Volkswagen's Caddy and on the Amarok mid-sized pickup truck. So that also sells mostly in Europe. And yeah, I guess we will see if these talks come to any sort of fruition.
Well, speculative tendencies sometimes turn out to actually be the truth. Well, Janelle, it's been a very busy week for the markets. Now, what key rate decisions and economic headlines are you watching, of course, the investors out there in the coming trading week?
You're right. It has been a very busy week, this markets, especially with the rate decision coming from the ECB. Next week, we can look forward to some more busyness, especially on the part of the Bank of England. We're expecting a rate decision from them on Thursday. But much like the ECB, they're expected to keep their rates unchanged. The majority of the Monetary Policy Committee is also expected to vote to keep the current asset purchase program in place and at the same volume. We're also expecting data from the U.S. on the federal budget, as well as wage data, and from Germany and Spain, some inflation data will be on our agenda as well.
Right, thank you very much. It's been a wonderful week with you also on the program. Thank you for your time and enjoy the rest of the weekend.